Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a review of the 2022 Prisoner Wine Company Unshackled. And I'm doing this because this is kind of a special bottling for the Christmas season for BC residents. So the Prisoner Wine Company has collaborated with a Canadian artist, street artist called Ben Johnson, and they've created this kind of gift cylinder. And it's really neat. It's going to be for no additional cost. So the cost of the Prisoner Unshackled is going to be $35.99. But during the Christmas season, they're going to offer this cylindrical gift box. And there's only 1,000 of them that are going to be produced for the BC market. And it's kind of like a little nice add-on. So Ben Johnson is a Canadian street artist, so you can see the graffiti, and when you get the actual can, it's gonna look like a spray paint can. And also when you put the bottle inside and you shake it, it actually sounds like a spray paint can. And then the lettering, the graffiti lettering, spells out fearless in here. So it's kind of a neat packaging, and it's a bonus. This is a fairly new product for the Prisoner Wine Company. It was first released in January of 2020, and the first vintage was 2018. I guess the idea is that the Prisoner itself, the wine, is getting up there in price. I think it's $80 or $90. So they wanted to have some entry-level wine. And I think they also produce an Unshackled Rosé and also a blend. But this is actually really a blend too. It is mostly Cabernet Sauvignon, because it is the Cabernet Sauvignon varietal, so it must be majority Cabernet Sauvignon. But it's got some Malbec, Petite Syrah, Tannat, Syrah, Petit Verdot. And it's sourced from the Central Coast and North Coast wine regions. So essentially what they're doing is that this is not going to be one of these collector wines. It's not supposed to be something that you're going to sell or an auction. But it's just a good drinking wine. So it's really for the kind of unpretentious crowd. So setting aside, what vineyard this is from, what grape varietal this is, like most consumers, if you just want to have a good drinking wine and you don't really care about all this stuff, then this is the wine for you. It's not for everyone, and for me as a wine guy, this is not my everyday wine. But it's kind of neat to try it once in a while, and that it does have a market, and not everyone has the same kind of viewpoint of this. But I like the idea that they've kind of produced something that's a little bit more affordable, because the Prisoner, when it first started out, was, I think, less expensive, and just with inflation it's going up, and so it's kind of a nice thing. It probably doesn't have as good the premium quality grapes that Prisoner has. It probably can't age as long as it can. It's probably not specific in terms of where the grapes come from. But if you are like the majority of consumers who are just drinking their wines within a couple of days of them buying it, you don't really care about aging. So it's for a different market segment. So each bottle, and it's kind of a neat design. The label design is kind of like a code, like a lock code, and it's kind of like a metallic codex that's debossed. And if you read in the letters, that's got all the details. So it says like Central Coast, Cabernet Sauvignon. So it's kind of a neat, creative label, I think. Very attractive for consumers, and mostly for consumers that really just want to drink wine. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to taste it for that purpose. And again, people will say, Trophy, you're drinking Latour, Lafite. What are you doing with Unshackled? I don't think a person has to be, well, I drink only Lafite, and so anything that's $10 is below with it. Sometimes I feel like different wines, and so that's just human nature for me. It's not like you have to, I got to look down on $10 wines. I've got to look down on Camus because I'm such a serious wine person. I don't buy that. If you like the wine, you like the wine. And sometimes these are neat. The preferred areas of drinking are Bordeaux or Burgundy. But once in a while, I don't mind a Napa, particularly with food. And actually, when I don't really want to think that hard, or I don't want to assess, I just want to enjoy a nice bottle of wine that I don't want to think about, Napa hits the spot because it's pretty fruit forward. It's pretty sweet. It's easy to drink. I don't have to think very much. There's no real secondary flavors that I have to, wow, I've got to wait for this wine to age over a couple hours. Sometimes I just want to have a wine that I enjoy right away. So anyways, let's take a taste of this. So on the smell, I can smell the fruit. It is all about fruit on this wine. Like, you can smell the sweetness of it. And again, some people like that, some people don't, but it is really, really fruity. You can tell right away from this, the smell of it. It's like dark, I would say red fruit mostly, but a little bit of dark plums, but like strawberries, kind of like black plums, raspberries, blueberries, almost like molasses, almost like grape compote, that type of thing, like almost like a jelly or a jam. So that's what it smells like, but really, really fruity and sweet on the smell. Yeah, on the taste, same thing. Lots of fruit. I actually like the acidity on this wine. It's quite, as people know, I'm a very big acidity person. I love good acidity because that brings vibrancy to the wine. Wines that are kind of not very high in acidity, I find quite dull and depressing. So this has got good balance, in fact. There's a lot of fruit on this, so it's mostly, again, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, black plums. But the balance is quite good. So the aftertaste, sometimes with what we call value wines, the aftertaste is either short or really like bitter, like almost burnt wood. This has a very nice aftertaste, not short, and quite smooth and balanced. So I like that. It's not overly tannic. I don't think you need to open too early. You don't need to decant it. You don't need to wait for this one. So it's a really, to me, medium bodied, if you have that Cabernet from America. So California American Cabernet Sauvignon. So that's unusual, I'd say, to have not an overly tannic, overly oaked wine. So really easy drinking, easy to understand, very fruity, and good balance. And that's what you look for a nice wine. Yeah, I don't get a lot of oak influence on this, but I get a lot of fruit. For my taste preference, because it's so sweet, I don't think I could drink a lot of this, so this would not be my everyday wine. But as a pop and open wine, this is great. As a wine to serve to people who are not, that drink all the time, I think it's a really easy to accept wine. And it's because it's got that sweetness and that fruit. So I think that's probably why Prisoner Wine Company is so popular, because it is very easy to drink, very acceptable, and you don't really need a lot of time to, and it's not a difficult wine to understand. My rating of this is going to be 88 points. It's a nice wine. It's not going to age. I don't think you need to age this. I don't think it will improve. In fact, I probably think if you waited 5 years, it'd probably deteriorate. It's really for pop and open and to enjoy right away. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy drinking.